This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the September 19th Kubernetes Contributor Summit North America Planning Meeting. So, a general reminder, these meetings will be recorded or are recorded and will be posted sometime on YouTube later. And we abide by the CNCF Code of Conduct, which essentially boils down to please be excellent to each other. If you can, I'll drop a link again to the notes in chat, but please toss your name under the attendee list. And with that, let's get right into things. Start off with an update on my side. As a general reminder, if you are staff or leads, please register. Only 20 of the 30 staff have registered so far. So please, if you are a lead, remind your shadows. The earlier we can get those numbers, the better, especially if you actually want to be guaranteed a hoodie that fits. The earlier we can get those numbers in, the better.
Is the updated registration in the spreadsheet so we can check with our shadows?
Yes, I think awesome. It was updated earlier today, and my headset battery just died. 1 sec.
Everybody panic while Bob can't hear us.
There we go. So I get like a 5-second notice that it's about to die, and it's just like, oh crap. So
registration.
Yes, yeah, registration. Please, please, for staff, register. If you know people that are planning and going and haven't registered yet, please tell them to register. The earlier we can get those numbers, the better. I think that is the main one from me at this point. With that, we'll kick it over to CNCF for updates.
Perfect. All right. So we have just a few updates for you guys this week. The hoodie order has been placed. So thank you to Caslin. We kind of worked through some bugs on the artwork last week, but it worked out perfectly. So that is all set. I'm also reviewing the award artwork with the vendor. So I will be in touch if there are any issues or concerns, but they're looking through everything right now. We also did receive the final and updated contract from Deluxe Flux. So Deb and I are reviewing that and aiming to have that signed and hopefully ready to announce by the end of this week. And we do have some signage examples for you here as well. As you can see, we are working with those and getting those ready for hopefully printing and production. So any thoughts or initial thoughts when you see these?
Well, we'd like to see them.
Oh, let's see. They are on the shared drive. Give me one.
They should be in the
yeah, they
notes.
are in the doc. Yep.
Oh, okay.
You may have to scroll to the next page. They're the top of page 2 now, or 3.
Got it.
One quick question on the. This is jumping back to hoodies for a sec. What was the overage percentage we ordered?
Right now, I have 10% over, but Deb and I are actually going to review, and we probably are going to increase that.
We're going to order more.
I would definitely bump that up.
Yeah, we're on it.
Okay, cool. Especially as like looking at 10%, the 10 other staff that haven't registered yet would accommodate for.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. One other, so sort of an update from me. When Deluxe Flux, when that contract is signed and everything, I open up a PR to stub out the website with the social information. If we can get some, if people wouldn't mind just taking a quick look at that to make sure that's all accurate, if there's anything that should be added or missing, be appreciated. And then essentially, as soon as we get the final okay, can merge that and send out comms regarding the social update and probably another CFP like reminder.
Yeah, as soon as I have the final okay, I will definitely let you know. So,
Thank you.
no problem. That's everything from me, unless anybody has any questions or needs anything else.
I'm good. Does anyone else have anything?
I do, just with about the awards artwork. Just if there's anything comes up, just let me know.
Yeah.
I saw that made it like almost 2x the size of 400 millimeters by 400 millimeters. I'm sure they could scale down and other things like that. So
Yeah, I know they're looking over at everything today, so I'm sure if I hear anything, it should probably be today, and I'll definitely let you know.
Cool. Did the artwork issue get resolved? I know like you and Josh were going back and forth.
So Illustrator just does not transform to or export to SVGs very well. I saw this in Adobe related forums. I tried to make it better. I don't know if I was able to be looked at by Josh, the new updates of the SVG, but I did upload a PDF, a PNG, and the Adobe Illustrator file format as well, just so that folks know like this is what's supposed to look like, or this is what it looks like on my screen on the PNG and the PDF version. It's like, you know, hopefully that helps.
Who's doing the actual printing? Is it Drew or is it another company?
It's
Or
another company.
Pinnacle? Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if it was Drew and Pinnacle, we probably have a pretty easy back and forth to solve that one.
No,
How
it's
does
another
the
company, but, it's the same vendor that has been used in the past, so they're pretty familiar with it.
Night Sky, I think is what their name is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did have one question on the shipping. Like how does the shipping work? Does it get all shipped to the CNCF and the CNCF ships the awards out to folks who are not attending the summit, or is it drop shipped from the vendor? Or
So right now it is set up where it would all be shipped on site, and then anything that needs to go out after that we can send individually.
all right, perfect.
Cool. Thank you. Any other questions, comments for Deb and Brienne? Okay, we'll move over to content with Jason.
Yeah, so I wanted to let everybody know that Marky's going to be leading up the unconference tracks for us. That's the first of our kind of tracks that we at least know about yet. We're still waiting for the CFP responses to come in. That closes on the 30th, and so far we only have 7. So in addition to, I see Keslin already has it on the active comm reminders for this week. I'm also going to be working with the Shadows to do some active reach out to the various SIGs and working groups and everything to try to solicit some content as well.
Cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. I posted I dumped all the things that people were potentially interested in out of Reg into a separate spreadsheet as other potential ideas.
Awesome. Thanks.
I also know a few people that are planning on submitting an idea and just haven't done it yet. I'm like, just get something in there, please.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it is. People look at the CFP deadline and it always comes down to the wire too. So,
yep.
But I want to make sure that, that folks don't just miss the announcement and everything. So doing a little bit of active reach out over Slack and their various mailing lists is always helpful with these things, I found.
Yeah, definitely would +1 that there. Any other questions or comments for content at this point in time? Cool. That will bring us over to comms with Caslin.
Welcome to Comms with Caslin, everyone. Right? It does sound like a podcast. Maybe I should make that a thing. So active comms items for this week. We want to get out at least 1 or 2 registration reminders. I already put a ping in our Slack group with my shadows to ask who would like to help out with that. CFP, probably want to do 1 or 2 on that too. And Slack was a good mention there. Maybe we should test out the Slack bot with a CFP notification.
One actually quick thing with that. If you do want to double check that it actually works, you want to check with the Slack admins, because we had to do a big rotation recently of like, okay,
Yeah, we were discussing that it needs a test. So
yeah. For some background context, we had to do a lot of Slack API key shuffling to fix various things, and that wound up being a much larger adventure than what we initially thought it would be.
I knew that it was broken. I didn't know that was why.
Yeah.
Today I learned. So registration, CFP, definitely 1 or 2 messages for each of those on Twitter, and then maybe some Slack as well. Probably for both of those if we do a Slack message. And then awards, I wanted to ask Ray, are you ready for tweets about that this week, or do you want to save those for next week?
So I was thinking about the tweets for the awards would go out on the 24th. I mean, the people who won award, they already know that they won award, but I don't know. Like, this is actually a good thing to bring up. Like, when should we tweet out when folks win the award? Same thing with the blog as well. I was thinking that I could draft up the blog, and that'll be released like the either on October 24th or the October 25th, the day after. Same for tweets as well. Like, should we do it on the summit day, or is it too busy with KubeCon stuff? But it is the Monday of KubeCon week.
I mean, if there's a way for us to schedule the tweets going out, like the evening, like right before the social. I mean, honestly, I don't want anyone checking Twitter. I want everyone having a good time in person. That said, everyone else can, notice it on Twitter.
Yeah.
That works. We could send out a notification like, remember, this is happening at the contributor summit though, like this week or next week.
I'll be like live tweeting.
Yeah, we usually set up a bunch of tweets to go out live during the event. So we can definitely pre-plan that.
Is Buffer and all that working now?
It is. It's wonderful. So we have the ability to schedule tweets in a much more convenient way.
Cool. Yeah. Then I would probably slate it to be either during the award ceremony itself or like right after the award ceremony. Just be like, hey, thanks to XYZ. And then Ray, if you happen to stub out the site or the page and want to get that in there, we'll have plenty of people around to basically toss a quick LGTM on it.
And it'll also auto tweet the blog post if we get that done for kates.dev. So we'll have a couple of notifications right after the awards come out.
Cool.
And then for things that are coming up that will need comms that we don't really have enough information to put stuff together for yet, as far as I know, is the SIG meet and greet, the doc sprint, and the after party celebration kind of thing.
Okay. The after party celebration.
We do have the location now. So.
Yeah. At least the location and general stuff should be sorted out. The PR I linked earlier. Actually, quick question for Brianna and Deb. Did we get it from 6 to 9 p.m.?
Yes, it is 6 to 9 p.m.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, we should be okay there. The meet and greet, has that room been sorted out yet? Like, or I know that one's scheduled during KubeCon week. or during KubeCon itself? I'm sorry.
That's a good question. Let me check real quick. I think that one is still
finalized. We can Slack it to you. Brian, I can show you where to find it after.
okay. Perfect.
This.
Cool.
Nothing needed right this moment, though. We can always do those closer. Cool.
And then Doc Sprint, Jim, are you organizing that, or who or Ray, like who?
I'm on it. I did gather some possible topics from that was brought up for previous doc sprints, but wasn't actually used. So I need to see if, folks who are part of SIGDocs like Jim, I know Divya and Natalie are also going to be there as well. What theme or what kind of doc sprint we want to run for this. But
we can take this offline too, but did Abigail reach out to you as well?
yes,
or
Abby did. Yeah, Abby's
Okay.
the one who sent me the list.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All good.
Yeah.
And the doc sprint is another one of the things that I suggested we should work on a kates.dev blog post about.
Yeah.
Talk about how wonderful it is to be a part of the doc sprint and all of the wonderful things it teaches you. So we'll be in contact about that. I think that's about it for comms.
Cool. Any questions, comments at this point for comms? Then we will move over to Reg. Brun is could not be here. I thought I saw Arno on the call earlier. Yep, there we are.
Oh, I don't think there's a specific update to give. Like we on track about the registration line. We now 157 approvals. So I think we are superior compared to Valencia, which is kind of a good thing. Now we're just tracking every request now. I think that's my update.
Cool, thank you. One actually really interesting thing with this summit versus previous summits, we've usually had significantly more people that were not anywhere near associated with Kubernetes, like signing up for Reg. Like we've usually had to decline like 50 people by now. And this time around, it's only 9. So I don't necessarily know what that signifies, but just kind of an interesting trend. I think with that, we'll kick over to Ray for awards.
All right. So there's 39 total awardees. Every SIG has gone back to us. There were a few SIGs that did not have nominees this year. Out of the 39 total awardees, 13 will be at the summit and 25 will not be at the summit. One has not replied at all, meaning that they have not filled out the form for the shipping for the award shipping form, and that has a question if they're going to be at the summit. I'll reach out to founder Twitter. I've already reached out to email, Slack, and I'll try Twitter. That person's based in Europe, so I don't know if they're not very active on Slack as well, or on the Kubernetes Slack. So I'll try to track them down. Like previously mentioned, RWIC has been sent, and it sounds like the vendor's reviewing it. We do have some next steps, draft the tweets, and like Haslin mentioned, to be sent on the afternoonish or evening of October 24th. Same with the blog posts for kates.dev, and also the update the kates.dev/awards page as well. So that one's a fairly simple one. And that's it for awards.
Cool, thank you. Any questions, comments for awards? Okay. See, I don't see Xander on the call for celebration. Is any one of his shadows on? Okay. Well, I know the big thing is once the location is locked in, the Deluxe Flux will have karaoke. It will have a thing. So for us to do trivia, we should have plenty of good options there. Can catch up with him later. Then pop over to Noah.
Hi. Yeah. So I started working on scheduling spreadsheets, getting things organized. But I have questions as I'm filling things in. Things like, what are our start times? What are our stop times? Are we doing both breakfast and lunch? What are the times of these events? How are we handling these? Are these questions that we should answer here on this call, or should I just send my spreadsheet over to the channel so that people can comment on it? How do we want to handle that?
I am if you got a spreadsheet stubbed already, I am good with that. There might be one in the doc from with like Reg and all that too.
There is, but it doesn't cover quite everything that I need,
Okay.
which is, who's going to be where and what are their duties going to be.
Yeah. I figured things would probably kick off like 9:30ish in terms of like general opening ceremonies. That also might be adjusted a little bit depending on how much content we have.
Mm-hmm.
If there isn't a lot of content, then potentially a later start date with, more time for people to be social in the morning. So I think that one, at least we're going to at least probably play a little bit more by ear. For some of the stuff in the evening, I know we can work backwards because we want awards is always the last thing to sort of like close it out before going over to celebration. And that will be, let's see, Deluxe Flux is 6, so probably 4-ish, 4:30-ish.
Because we're going to want to close out by 5, right?
Yep, close out by 5, give people time to go back to their hotel room before going over to Deluxe Flux.
Okay.
So at least working backwards from that might be a good bet.
Okay.
And then we'll know the time for lunch as well.
And what else did I have for questions? For AV, are we going to have AV staff on hand, or are we just going to have the AV equipment set up and then they're going to leave for the day? And how many rooms are going to have AV?
I think all of them have AV. Brian, Deb, do you know if there'll be people like basically assigned to the rooms?
So yes, all of the rooms. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Deb.
Sorry. In the session rooms, there will be someone staffed to it, but in the meeting rooms where it's just like a screen and projector, we won't have any AV staffing.
Okay. And how many rooms are we recording any of the rooms?
I don't think so. Brian can share the link to the doc where we have all the AV and stuff that was finalized noted.
Yeah, I thought we were pretty much recording all of them.
I was gonna say, I think on the doc there was 2 rooms that were noted. It was the workshop and the general session room that were noted as yes to recording.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, that is in there. Awesome. I completely glanced over that.
So
if anything needs to be updated, let me know because I am working on finalizing the requests. So if anything does need to change, just let me know.
Okay, cool. The one big thing, and this is also true for the unconference stuff, we will definitely want to make sure that people know to assign essentially like note takers. Just because that was one of the like pieces of feedback from EU was like we had these wonderful discussions, but we didn't actually capture a lot of the AIs and follow-up items as the project itself. Lots of people have their own like little tiny individual notes, but no one has sort of like the big list of action items to come out of them like as a project.
Okay.
That doesn't necessarily have to be like an ops staff person, but more like we just need to make sure people know for the things that like aren't recorded. We do want to try and have note takers.
Well, among the ops duties are perform sound checks in any rooms that require them, time checks so that people know, hey, you only have 5 minutes left, the standard carnival barking, and now we'll make sure that we keep a reminder to assign note takers in that list in any room where that is appropriate.
Cool.
Do I have any other questions on my? Oh, are we doing breakfast, or is it just open?
I believe there will be an open thing, sort of like KubeCon EU, where we just had.
I actually do have a light breakfast included. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Nothing super fancy, but there is options.
Like continental breakfast and coffee.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Caffeine. One thing that we can do ahead of time that might be helpful, and how this gets organized, I will defer. But you can pre-create a bunch of Google Docs that just have like global right, and then name them whatever session they are, and then we can kind of distribute them in the Slack. It does require a minor amount of moderation in case someone wants to be kind of a jerk, but realistically, depending on how we distribute it, should be fine.
We just do KDev and as the permission set.
But the whole point there is then, yes, we have someone that is kind of meant to be a note taker, but hey, there's 30 plus other people in a room, like 3 of them have a laptop. Hop in there and start taking your own notes too.
Yeah, and we could all actually also link the note stocks from the like sketched slots or something like that.
Exactly.
For some of them, not necessarily all the unconference ones, but at least for the other, like create a template and go from there for the others.
And we can link them in the Slack channel while the conference is going on. So we can say, anybody that's in this room, here's the notes doc for that room.
Yep.
Yeah. Did that actually for an internal summit, and that worked quite well.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, I think we are through anything. Does anyone else have anything they wish to discuss? Cool. Well, thanks all. And I will see you around. Oh.
Nigel asked in the chat, are there any open AIs?
I don't think there are any unassigned open AIs.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, we're good.
Oh, thank you. Also good to have you back, Nigel.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome back, dude. God, I haven't seen you in so long. Well, we both left a project at about the same time.
I'm going to at least stop recording. Thanks everyone, and I will see you around Slack.
Thanks, folks.
Bye.
Monday.